Welcome to Power Electronics lecture series. Today we will see the information related to SCS, that is silicon controlled switch. In this topic we will see various points related to SCS, that is symbol of SCS, the structure of SCS, then its working, its IV characteristics, some of its advantages, disadvantages and application of SCS. Let us see what is meant by silicon controlled switch. Let us start with the today's point, that is silicon controlled switch. Silicon controlled switch. It is near about similar to the SCR. In this session we will see the basics of SCS, silicon controlled switch. Then we'll see the symbol of SCS, then its structure of SCS, then we'll see the working of SCS, IV characteristic of SCS, advantages and disadvantages of SCS, advantages and disadvantages of SCS, advantages of SCS, and finally the application of SCS. Application of SCS. Now let us start with the basics of SCS. Basics of SCS. Now this SCS is 4-layer device. Okay, it is 4-layer device. It has 3 junctions and 4 terminals. Normal SCR has PNPN device, okay, PNPN structure, and it has only one gate. Okay, one gate is there in SCR, while in silicon controlled switch we are having 2 gates. Let us draw the structure of SCS. Structure of SCS. Okay, so it is nothing but a PNPN device. Okay, PNPN device. At one side it has anode, at another side it has cathode, and at another side it has cathode, and it has 2 gates, anode gate and cathode gate. Near to anode it has anode gate, and near to cathode it has cathode gate. So its working is controlled by both the gates. Okay, with one of the gate it will be turned on, and with other gate it will be turned off. If I draw the symbol of it, now let us draw the symbol of it. Let us draw first the normal SCR. Here is anode, here is cathode, and we are having 2 gates here, anode gate and cathode gate. Okay, so we are having anode gate here and cathode gate here. Now let us draw now two transistor analogy of this SCS. Okay, two transistor analogy of SCS. If I cut the SCS in two different halves, okay, we had seen the structure of SCS here, and if I'll cut this is in two halves, so it is nothing but it has, okay, so it is divided into two transistors. One is PNP and other one is NPN. Okay, and if I draw the symbolic representation for it, so it will represent like one is PNP transistor, okay, and other one is NPN transistor. So one can see that this is what PNP transistor, suppose it is Q1, and this is NPN transistor, so suppose it is Q2. Now from this figure, this P is connected to anode and this N is connected to anode gate. So this P is connected to anode and this N is connected to cathode gate. And then we are having cathode at NPN transistor, and here we are having the anode gate. Okay, so from this figure we'll see it is, as I told you, it is 1 2 3 4 4 terminal, 4 layer, and this 1 2 3 junction device. Okay, if I cut the structure of SCS in two halves, then it will be represented with the help of two transistors, Q1 and Q2. Okay, now let us say how it works. Okay, when I apply the negative gate pulse to the anode gate, what happens? When negative gate pulse is applied to anode gate, okay, whenever the negative gate pulse is applied to this anode gate, it will cause the base emitter junction of Q1 to be forward bias. Okay, this base emitter junction to be forward bias. It will cause the base emitter junction of Q1 to be forward bias. Emitter junction of Q1 to be forward bias. Now as this base emitter junction of Q1 is forward bias, it will turn on the Q1. The Q1 transistor is turned on. Q1 is turned on, and collector current starts flowing through this Q1 transistor. So IC1 starts flowing. Now this IC1 is nothing but a base current for the Q2 transistor. So this IC1 current will turn on the Q2 transistor. IC1 is nothing but base current for Q2 transistor. So Q2 will turn on. As Q2 will be turned on, the collector current is again flowing across this, and this is nothing but the base current for the Q1 transistor. So the continuous current multiplication will be takes place across the Q1 and Q2 transistor. Okay, if I want to turn off this SCS. So with the help of negative gate pulse to the anode gate, the SCS is turned on. If I apply the positive gate pulse, okay, if I apply the positive gate pulse to the anode gate, then it will cause what? As negative gate pulse will forward bias the base emitter junction, so the positive gate pulse will reverse bias the base emitter junction. The base emitter junction of Q1 is reverse bias, is to be reverse bias. As this junction is reverse bias, so Q1 is turned off. If Q1 is turned off, the IC1 current is 0. As IC1 current is 0, it will cause the Q2 transistor to be turned off. Q2 will also turned off. So with the help of negative gate pulse, the SCS will be turned on, and with the help of positive gate pulse, the SCS will be turned off. Okay, but we generally use anode gate. We generally not use the anode gate to turn on the SCR, because the magnitude of the we generally don't use anode gate to turn on the SCS. Because the magnitude of current at anode gate is larger, than cathode gate. Means we require small pulse, the pulse of small magnitude at the cathode gate to turn on the SCS, rather than the means what I mean to say, if I am applying the current pulse at anode gate, it will take more time to turn on the SCS. It will take the more time to turn on the SCS. But at the same time, if I am using the current pulse at cathode gate, we require lesser magnitude of the current pulse, so it will take less time to turn on the SCS. So we will prefer the cathode gate to turn on the SCS and anode gate to turn off the SCS. Now this is what related to the working of two transistor analogy or working of the SCS. Now let us draw the IV characteristic of it. IV characteristic of SCS. So it remains same. It is nothing but the anode current on y-axis and voltage across the anode and cathode, on x-axis. Here we are having negative VAK and negative current. Okay, so initially the current increases in small steps, and after breakdown will occur, the current starts increasing sharply. Okay, this is called as forward breakover voltage. The IV characteristic of SCS and the IV characteristic of SCR is same. Okay, if I apply suppose this is for current IG1, if I apply the another gate current at cathode to turn on the SCS, as I am increasing the gate current, the forward breakover voltage decreases. Okay, so here we are having IG, suppose it is IG3, it is IG4. So the IG4 is greater than IG3, greater than IG2 and greater than IG1. As we are going increasing the gate current, the forward breaker voltage means transition occurs immediately, means the SCS will be turned on with very small time. Okay, and this is represented with the help of holding current, and this is called as latching current, and at this time the SCS is turned on, and this mode is called as forward blocking mode. Forward blocking mode. The reverse characteristic remains same. The small amount of current is flowing up to the breakover will occur, and after reverse breakover voltage, the current starts increasing immediately. So this voltage is called as reverse breakover voltage, and this state is called as reverse blocking state. Means as I am applying the current pulse to the cathode gate, the SCS is turned on, and as I am applying the positive current at the anode gate, the SCS will be turned off. So with the help of two gates, we can turn on the SCS as well as we can turn off the SCS. So this is what IV characteristic of SCS. Now let us see the advantages of SCS. Advantages. Now the first one, we can, as we are using the two gates here, so we are having increased control over turning on and turning off of SCS. So increased control of device is possible in SCS. Okay, so we are having increased sensitivity here. Here we are having two gates, cathode gate and anode gate. With the help of two gates, we can turn on the device and turn off the device very immediately. Similarly, means it will increase its sensitivity, means it is very sensitive to what we are applying at the anode gate as well as at the cathode gate. And third, we can reduce the turn off time, means we are having reduced turn off time with SCS, and it is typically in the range of 1 to 10 microsecond. 1 to 10 microsecond. So these are what some of the advantages of SCS. Now what are its disadvantages? The SCS has low power, current and voltage rating. As compared to SCR, the SCS has low power, current and voltage rating, and the anode current ranges from 100 to 300 milliampere, and maximum power dissipated at the device is 100 to 500 milliwatt. 100 to 500 milliwatt means in terms of milliampere and milliwatt, the current rating and the power rating are very low with the help of SCS. Now where the SCS is used? The SCS is used in pulse generators. Applications of SCS. It is used in pulse generators. It is used in voltage sensors, used in oscillators, and it is also used in wide variety of computer circuits. Such as counters, computer circuits, such as counters and timing circuits. Counters timing circuit, etc. So in today's session we had seen the what is mean by silicon controlled switch. Okay, what is mean by silicon controlled switch, then its symbol, its construction, its working, two transistor analogy of its IV characteristic, some of the advantages, disadvantages and application of SCS. So thank you for watching this video. If you are having any queries related to today's topic or the previous topics, let us write in the comment box, and we'll solve in the upcoming sessions your questions or your doubts. Thank you.